Great afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Conquering Through the Crisis. I am your host, Lamont Gwynn, and you are here because you believe, just like me, that when challenges arise in our lives, when crises happen, when there are situations that seem insurmountable, that instead of just coping through them, we conquer through them. And I'm really excited about my guest today because when I tell you this young lady, I met her at an event, and it was just instant magnetism because she has such a great and wonderful personality. Her name is Crystal Bethea. She is the owner of Rivera Massage Spa. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome Crystal to the show. Welcome, Crystal.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much, for Levant, for having me on. This is fantastic.
I appreciate you because I know, as busy as you are, that you're running between things, and so I know that this is, just to stop to do this is a time element that you could be spending somewhere else. I'd just like to thank you.
Oh, no
So
problem at all.
I just want to jump right in. Can you tell us a little bit about you, your origin story? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, sure. I'm actually, I come from Chicago, Illinois. My mother, Janice, she's an RN and really big into like natural remedies and roots, leaves and roots. There's always some other natural way of healing. So she kind of rubbed that off on me. And my father is a military veteran, Army. I'm a intern for traditional purposes. It was a tradition in our family to make sure that all of the siblings joined the military as well. So my twin brother and I joined the Army as well, and I spent a short period of time, but still considered a veteran, and I still serve today. So super excited about my
Awesome.
history.
Awesome. So you are a veteran. If I had, if no one's told you today, thank you for your service, and we appreciate what you stepping in as in the military. So you were in the you were in the army.
Yes, sir. I was in the
Okay.
Army, 62 Juliet. Had a huge, I had a great time learning how to use pavement breakers in construction. There's not very many women in construction, but I enjoyed myself quite a bit during my time. Yes.
Awesome.
I
And
love it. I'm not even sure if that even exists anymore, that 62 Juliet.
wow. So you when you got out of the military, you went into cosmetology.
I did. While I was in school, right before, I was finishing school, doing dual enrollment in high school, and as soon as I got out, I literally was able to study for like a couple of months and get my license, and I was able to just flow with that for a long period of time. And I got heavy into facials and skincare and things of that nature, and I wasn't quite fulfilled all the way, so I ended up going to school to be a massage therapist, and I knew instantly that that's where I was supposed to be, and I found a way to mix the two. So I started doing mobile haircuts and massages, and I had large families that I had the opportunity to take care of. A lot of pilots, a lot of veterans and doctors. They had like maybe 6, 8 family households, and I would come in and just take care of all of them. Did that for quite a while before I started my actual like brick and mortar. So it's
Beautiful.
been fun.
So how did you go from being a mobile massage therapist to having your own spa? Can you talk about what that transition felt like? Because I know your husband was involved in that too. If you could talk about that, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Um, how I started, I was doing the mobile haircuts and massage. I I did a living social, and it allowed me to kind of branch my services off to like a huge area. And I ended up running into a place called Sola Vida. It's a 55 and up resort style community. A couple of people bought my voucher in there, and I was like, oh, this place is fantastic. Definitely gave me another take on senior living, because I mean, you think of assisted living, you think of nursing homes. This place was fabulous. You have your own home, and they're living their best life. Love Solar Clear. So I ended up in that location where they had just a one room, and I had the opportunity to rent that one space out, and that was my first time transitioning from being mobile to being in a stable location. And it was scary, but it was a leap of faith at the time, and it was just me. Oh, sorry about that. Can you see me? There we
Yeah.
go. I
Fine.
apologize. But yeah, so in transitioning with that, I did a wine and cheese open house for the community and filled my schedule for a month, and it just progressed from there with the word of mouth and kept growing and growing, and it grew to me bringing on more people and more staff, and um, it allowed my husband, I had to talk him into quitting his 10-year job working at Chef, pallet company. He was the background to our foreground. So to tell him to convince him to leave that level of stability, it took a lot. But when he did it, it's been the best decision ever because I couldn't manage it on my own and work the business at the same time. So my husband Marcus has been, we're a really good team together.
Yeah, I met Marcus, and when I tell you it's like peanut butter and jelly, the way he lit up when you came into the studio and the way you lit up when you saw him, I was like, "Ooh, that's peanut butter and jelly right there." So, so
I love it.
when you two join forces, and it came to a point where you needed to bring on employees, and that's one of the hardest parts for small businesses, especially entrepreneurs. You've been doing the show, running the show yourself. How did you maneuver through bringing on people?
It was a necessity. I was literally working. It got to a place from 8 to 8. I was working like 6 days a week, sometimes 7, because I just did not know how to say no. And there's a lot of people that needed help, and we understood, and it was scary. It's a scary process to have to cut your pay to share that pay. So, but it's a necessity. You have to do a step back, to spring forward. And it allowed me to rest. It allowed me to have more hands-on with training and bringing on more people. Then, the more you start bringing on more people, it turns out to balance out financially for everybody. But it is a risk and a step that you have to take if you want to grow. You have to step off and be an entrepreneur and just be the business owner and, kind of transition a little bit. You just got to step out on faith.
Yes. So last year you went through, was it last year or the year before, you went through
Yes.
a big change? And I didn't mention it at the top of the show, so I'll mention it now. Where this conversation is really, although we got to know you, the theme of the show is it may be time to evaluate, reevaluate, and revamp your business. It may be time to reevaluate and revamp your business. And a lot of people like myself, going through this crisis now, it's like I literally had to pivot into something else, right? To keep me busy because my business completely shut down. But you were able to, when you had a crisis before, that allowed you to be prepared for this crisis. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. Started off with my husband and I, being a business in the business, which for us, starting off small is important, and then we can always, grow and expand into a thing. And being a business in the business, it has, it's plus and minuses. The minus is, of course, when we ran a situation where they wanted to revamp the entire building. And of course, we couldn't continue to do services in that time span. And it caught us off guard. And we made a lot of investments literally right before it. And we had maybe a week, 2-week notice to be like, hey, we're going to shut down for a period of time. Not real sure how long it's going to take, month and a half. And we were like, ooh, we have employees. What are we going to do? But we had no choice. So we shut down, and we were unprepared. But my husband and I were like, what can we do for us not to experience this type of loss again? And we brought it back to the drawing board, because originally, before I started this business, I did do a business plan. I put a business plan together, and I followed it to the T. I went to the library, I got that book, and I answered all those questions to try to help me, like, okay, troubleshoot some things. But this was out of the business plan. That's not a part of the business plan to tell you, hey, what do you do when you get shut down? There's zero also that kind of needs to be added with this this pandemic actually now. So
Right.
we did. We went back to the drawing board and we were like, first off, what can we do coming out of here? Uh, we need to grow out of being a business in a business. It's time for us to have our own stable location. That way, there's a little more control over situations like this. Second is what services uh, geared around what we're already doing. How can we maximize the benefit and the profit? And that led us to bringing on health insurance more. So we went through the credentialing process while we were shut down. And I mean, it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of figuring things out, but we had the time to do it. So we tried to maximize our time versus, soaking in our milk. We were like, we need a solution. We can't keep focusing on the problem. And it turned out to help us during this pandemic right now, because we went through this last year, same time, strangely, seems to
Mm.
be a season for us. So we know sometimes the things are coming around this time. But yeah, it ended up sustaining us this time around because, with insurance and checks, being a provider, they never pay you on time. It takes sometimes a month to 2 months to get, paychecks. So during this closing, you still get, things accumulating from back pay, and your kids do cleanup work, and it helped us. But that revamping literally saved our practice and stopped us from being able to shut down. We can still maintain, we can still try to help our staff stay afloat. Mind you, we have vendors. We don't necessarily have employees. They get a lot of employee benefits, yes, but there was more, benefit to them being able to, have a little more control. So it's been helpful to revamp and just, you have to go back to the drawing board. What can you do to sustain your practice? What niche can you get into that you can just more than stay afloat? And now it's just time to go back to the drawing board and get that business plan. And I recommend that for everybody right now during this time.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you accept insurance. So how does accepting insurance work in a massage spa or a spa? How does that work?
Yes. No, well, first thing is I ended up bringing on a medical director for us to be able to transition from just a typical spa to something more medi spa. I brought on a physician, and he liked the proposal, and it allowed me to just kind of up my menu a little bit more, so I can bring on Botox, um, uh, sexual dysfunction, trigger point injections, a lot more, med spa services that can, help the community that I'm in and abroad. And it just, yeah. So it's still, we're in our same spa realm, but to add those med spa services, acupuncture, we were already doing. So having our medical director definitely allowed us to accept insurance, Medicare, because they cover a certain amount of these services as far as manual therapy and, wellness. And the world is transitioning over more into holistic currently. So people are more aware and taking more charge of their healthcare. And natural is powerful and it works. Your body responds well to it quickly. So insurance is finally switching over to that more, and we were able to benefit. So we're front lines right now. Not very many are massage spas. There's so much red tape and paperwork, but when you're organized and the discipline, it can be done. So we're doing it. It's
Beautiful.
working out.
So you were able, so to be clear, you did shut down though, although you did have those credentials and you could have stayed open, you made the
Yes,
decision to pull back a little bit and shut down. Can you talk a little bit about that and then your reopening?
absolutely. Um, there's this is when it comes to the pandemic and the corona, it, there was so much conflicting information out there about how to protect yourself. And with us being in the 55 and up community and one location opening, we were like, we need to protect our staff. We need to protect our community until we get the facts. So let's just shut it all the way down and figure out what steps we need to take to be careful about transitioning and opening back up. So it was the best decision that we made. We wanted, because it's just, they tell you to do one thing and then it changes. So it's like, I need a little more stability there. And then we know how to protect everyone. So we made those changes as far as sanitizers, wearing masks, doing temperature checks at the door, getting those air purifiers for small spaces because all windows can't open and it's good to have fresh air come to, through your facility. So what can we do to counteract that? Get the purifiers, the EPA approved. So it's just a lot of cleaning. I have a cleaning company that comes through every week and do a thorough sanitation. Before we opened, we did 3 of those, like AC units and everything, like wash, rewash sheets, just to make sure there was nothing present because we don't really know how long this has really been around.
Right.
So we were worried. So we wanted to completely make it safe to come back in and follow those protocols going forward. So we just being closed maybe a month and a half, and we're transitioning. This is like our first week and a half, and it's going really well. Going really
Beautiful.
well.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I like what you just said, because the responsibility in hearing you, it wasn't about money. And we
No.
see that a lot of companies that are struggling with COVID and staying open and the struggle that they've had with employees being sick, the fact that you aren't doing this for money, you're doing this because of this is what you love. And that love of what you do caused you to say, wait a minute, we need to take a step back. We don't want to be a danger to the community. We don't want the community being danger to us. So let's take a step back. And that was so good that you did that. That's an example for others who, some people are just driven by the dollar, and that can cause death, really. So
Yes.
you being
Literally.
able, right. Yep. So you staying, being focused on making sure that everybody is safe was a good move. And now, just like you said, you're back open and things are going well. So
And it's still a scary time right now, Lamont, where people are worried currently about still coming in. There is that factor. I mean, it's still present. It's still building slowly, but uh, we have more to offer health wise than fear. I mean,
right,
we offer the salt boost to kind of help, with respiratory hygiene and things like that. As far as flushing, a lot of people have been sedentary and resting and not walking around, scared to leave the house. So to try to help balance, counter out depression and physical body aches and pains, like right now, having a medical director, we're treating people medically, and we knew that we had more to offer to the community and to help kind of balance and calm this back down. We have to find a new normal versus just saying that everything has to just be cut and dry. Because I mean, like most viruses, the more you learn and study a thing, this is going to always be present in a factor. Just like the flu and pneumonia, we have to learn how to survive and figure this out. I think because this has been around so long, like you said, as long as you're following the health, the CDC and the protocol set and whatever is tied to your licenses, they normally have a pretty good guidance plan for you as much as possible. Then you should follow those things to the T. Make sure it's followed by your staff, and the clientele coming in, the guests, have a new set of rules as well to go by. They have to wear masks coming in the door. They have to sanitize their hands at the door. So before coming in, there's a lot of things that are done. But as long as everybody works together, I think that everyone will be okay. Everybody's going to be okay.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. What during the week that you were shut down, I mean the week during the month and a half that you were shut down, what did that look like for you as far as getting ready to reopen?
Woo. Like I said, it was a lot to that, and I worried, like I said, because I mean most of the staff between my staff and the community. I'm sorry, I got to plug this up. Forgive me.
That's all right. We just saw you and your husband. So the audience got a peek of Marcus on that one. So that's good.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, that's my hubby. That's the hubby right there. Yeah. But yeah, like what it looked like again is a lot of watching the news, a lot of research and studying. Even for the Salt Therapy Association, just going through with a lot of education so we can know how to, that's key. Sometimes you got to step away from the news and do some reading because there's a lot of fear being spread. Numbers aren't quite accurate. A lot of dumping and pull, and it's like you have to find a way to do some research and reading and go through your Chamber of Commerce, go through the CDC, and find the information out for yourself because those numbers are way more accurate. And I have, thank goodness, friends in the field. I have a SWAT medic. I know my sister's an RN. Like what's really going on in the hospital. Like let them tell it in Florida. That they might have 3 cases of COVID in the emergency room, but when the news tell it, it's all the respirators are taken up, and I got information from the field, and that's been helpful to kind of calm things down because I've had some anxiety myself and had to huff on my essential oils a little bit just to kind of bring the stress levels down because you have to worry. It's all the risk.
Right.
It's all the risk, and we had to get the research and the studies in, and what can we do to help? What can we do to be safe? And check it twice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We had to check it 2-3 times over, and make sure that we got every nook and cranny. So it was a lot of just pause and reflect and research.
Well, I
During
want to
this
say,
slow walk.
I'm sorry. I just want to say congratulations to you because I'm glad that you're on this show because people who watch this show will see a Black-owned business doing it right. A Black-owned business who is, an example for others to follow. So thank you so much for being an example because we need that because oftentimes we hear about the bad businesses, but it's businesses like yours, what you're doing, you're setting the standard for how others should do their business. And congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that, love.
Yeah. So I want to end the show. See, it wasn't that bad. See, we're at the end. We're at the end. You did great.
Thanks.
I want to ask 5 check-in questions. These are questions that I ask everyone at the end of the show. And so for anyone who wants to find out about Riviera Spa, and what information, where can they find you? What are you offering, that sort of thing right now?
Sure. Right now, I'm in the process of opening up my other location, and that would be most beneficial for the outside community because the current one is in Sola Vida. I can be reached at www.rivieraspa-massage.com. They have both locations listed on the website there. Sola Vida has their website for the 55 and up, and then the Cypress location is for the outside community. That should be opening June 1st. So super excited about that. You can always, we are veteran friendly, so we accept veteran insurance as well, along with the other insurances. So I would check with your VA and get your referrals and come in there and get your acupuncture and manual therapy covered. We have a series of holistic services to offer you to customize to each individual. There's always a natural way of treating and healing things. You'll see and understand the difference. Our veterans, we take amazing care of them in our entire community. So by all means, or you can book online at the website, or you can call 407-914-9168, and you can always ask questions. And for more information, the best way is to call. They're available for customer service.
Beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to post that information with the show notes, and I can tell just hearing your response that you run a business that cares for people. You can see it in your demeanor, you can hear it in your voice, and that's so important. And for this audience, if you need some physical revamping, please reach out to Crystal, reach out to Riviera Spa. I'm pretty sure she'll take care of you, and I'm going to make an appointment so that I can speak from experience.
Gotcha.
Okay. And
so let's do it.
Yeah, let's end the show with these 5 questions. First one is, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good about things. I feel confident that, in our abilities, and I have an elite team of professionals with me that there's nothing we can't do together, and it's nothing we wouldn't do for them. So I'm really excited about what we can do for the community. I feel confident about it.
Nice. What's not working?
What's not working? Well, right now with the shutdown, there's always hiccups when it comes to um, getting permits and inspections going. But thank goodness things are moving along. There's this, it might be snail crawling. That's why I say June 1st, but it's moving nonetheless.
Beautiful. So on the other side of that, what's working?
What's working? Our services. We're producers. We are producers. I mean, the feedback of people being afraid to come in, but once they come in, they leave out. They was like, I feel totally confident in y'all abilities and what you guys are bringing to the table. You gave us a look of what this really looks like with the protection barriers and the things we have in the lobby. They felt at ease, and I was glad that that was working. That they saw the care that we put into it, and they came out feeling better than before, and they just spread the word. So the services are working. Policy,
Beautiful.
new policy and procedure. Yeah.
Beautiful. What do you need?
Prayers.
Okay.
Prayers are always welcome, and
Okay.
because without it, just a lot of good juju. It's, like I said, it's a lot of negativity and fear, spreading throughout. But prayer works,
Yes,
and
they do.
you gotta roll with the punches, and take your laying down.
Yeah. And you have to conquer through. And that's what I definitely see in you and your business, that conquering through. This was is so beautiful. What are you proud of?
My husband.
Oh,
I'm proud of my husband, Marcus. He has been, a rock star, throughout this whole thing. And we make such a good team together. I don't know where I would be without him. I'm proud of our partnership together. I really am.
beautiful, beautiful. And the last question is, what can you let go of?
Anxiety.
Beautiful. Yes. I agree with you on that one.
So is anxiety. It's if it doesn't serve you, you literally have to let it go. And it hasn't served me, so I can let it go now.
Beautiful. Crystal, thank you so much. This is a great, I just love this whole interview because you really shine. Your business really shine. The information that you provided about revamping and how you had to do that and what that looked like for you now. And look at you. June 1st, you are opening a new location where
Yes,
there's
sir.
some businesses that are really closing down. So I'm just proud of you, happy for you. What a blessing it is. Thank you so much for being here. For my audience, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video, let people know about Crystal in Riviera Spa Massage. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's a tongue twister. I know.
Riviera Spa Massage. And one thing I wanted to close out the show with is what's coming tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to have a powerhouse couple. And our theme tomorrow is a better you lives outside your comfort zone. Ooh, I can't
Okay.
wait to have that discussion tomorrow. Until then, to you, Crystal, and to you, the audience, I say, make it a great day.